Conversation with myself like this better work. That's why I get peace of myself almost every verse. I spent my whole life grinding, I ain't asked for help. I used to starve as a kid, I had to feed myself. Remember all the hard times we kept trying, and we rise and we fall. The times we had to walk, now we stay flying. Now we grind till we ball.
I remember your favorite thing to do. Connecting all the dots and made it true. All this weight on my shoulders, all for you. All this weight on my shoulders, all for you.
Pulling up, know it's late, yeah, it's been a while. I've been plotting on you lately, you my favorite side. What's up, baby, when I'm in it, got your feelings wild. Ain't no time better than now, I can chill a while. Got Patron, bottle Henny, what you tryna do? I've been working hella late, mobbing with the crew. You know when I'm with the gang, I stay on the move. On that white when we be chillin', do my favorite move.
We can take a ride, oh, we can take the flight.
Welcome to another episode of Artist to Artist Podcast at the AB Club. It's your boy West Side, and I got a special guest with me today.
You know the fucking vibes, your boy Litty, Willie. We in the building.
Let's go.
What it is. We getting lit right now, talking shit, having fun.
Let's go, man. I appreciate you so much for pulling up. This one of them episodes I've been looking forward to doing, man.
Yeah?
Honestly.
You saying it, or that's just part of the script?
No. Honestly, because when I first started, like I was telling you before, when I first started, I wasn't even doing this type of show. Right. But I heard about you, and I seen some of your content, and I'm just like, oh, this is dope.
Appreciate it.
And so, you know, once I started my own journey with my own music platform, podcast, then I knew, like, all right, eventually at some point I want to do collaborations with other podcasters.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Create content, and you were one of the ones that I'm like, you definitely got to get him on the show. He's been doing it, you know what I'm saying? One of the pioneers out here for a music platform podcast, and so we definitely got to get your story, man.
Appreciate you.
Thank you again for coming on.
No, and I got to get you on mine now, so, like, I got to get you on the pod, so.
I got you.
You got to come down to Daycon, but you got to drink. I see no bottles on your show, so we got to drink when you come on my show.
I don't have no problem with drinking, man. I'll let you know that now.
If it ain't lit, it ain't shit.
Let's go. All right, so the first question I always like to start off with is, where did music start for you? So who would you give credit to putting music in your life?
Hip-hop or music?
Music in general.
My mother is, so we from the South Bronx. We were raised in the Bronx. My mom has always just been a musical woman. Puerto Ricans from the Bronx, as you know. I don't care what they say. Puerto Ricans and blacks started hip hop in the Bronx. That's where hip hop started. So, in that time, I was born in '87. So in that time, hip hop music's booming, R&B, hip hop. But my mom was always I remember vividly my mom cleaning and crying to Mary J. Cleaning and crying to Mary J. Like,
really?
Yeah. Like okay. Liberated woman crying. Because, you know, she was in the domestic growing up. So, like, crying and cleaning the house and blasting Mary J. and blasting Lisa, freestyle music, too.
Yeah.
You know, Johnny O and all that. But, like, R&B and hip-hop, that my mom's the one that introduced me to this music thing.
You know, I say a lot of times for men, that's usually where it starts from.
Yeah.
I would even say, like, because I get certain artists that play certain songs, and it might be like heartbroken women music, and I'll be like, oh, I like that. And they'll be like, really? I didn't think you would like that. And it's like, well, you got to understand where music started for me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So if your mom was a big in your life and she played music around you, you heard the Mary J. Bliges. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You heard the Faith Evans and Lauryn Hills, and you're
yeah.
like, oh, yeah, no, I grew up on this kind of stuff. So.
And my mom's young. My mom's 53. I'm 37. So her nickname is L Boogie because she thinks she's Lauryn Hill. So dead ass. Like, she had a radio station and everything. That's how I started podcasting. Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah.
So you watched her do it, like, growing up? Like you?
Not when I was younger. No, like 10 years ago. So around 25, 26, 27.
Okay.
She started, like, a radio station, and that was one of my inspirations for podcasting.
So that was your first experience as far as, like, watching somebody talk on the microphone in that fashion of media, you would say.
Yeah, real life, yeah. Because, I mean, there were celebrities, too, but real life, like, somebody I could see that is actually doing it firsthand. Yeah, my mom, she had a radio station, The Urban Jungle.
So was there ever a time where you wanted to do music? Like, did you ever have a moment where you might have dabbled in music? I was like, you know, see.
Never, but my brother is my favorite rapper. My brother is my number one rapper to me ever.
Okay.
My brother. We had some rough times growing up. And the way I would distract my brother is through music. So I would always, like, play hip-hop music to my brother. Like, Big Pun is my favorite rapper, dead or alive, ever.
Shout out to Big Pun.
Shout out to Pun. So I would make my brother, like, I would forcefully make him study music, and then I would make him like freestyle and do this, do that. And I always seen it in him because he was just. I don't know if you could know somebody's a good rapper or know that they're good at something, but I always seen that he was good. I wasn't good at rhyming. I'm not good at rhyming. I'm good at talking shit.
Yeah.
But I'm not good at rhyming. So if there was no such thing as rhyming with hip hop, I'll probably be the best rapper in the world because I could talk shit for days. But he would rhyme, so I would like, oh shit, like yeah, like so I would put him to make him listen music.
Yeah.
And I guess like my part of I never been a rapper, but I've always had an eye to see a good artist.
So you was like an architect, basically.
Yeah, like an A&R before an A&R, I guess. Like I was listening to Drake before anybody knew who Drake was. They used to like pick on me for listening to Drake. I was telling people like, yo, this fucking guy does everything. Like he sings, he raps. He's light skinned. Like, y'all don't understand. Like, this guy's going to be something one day. And they were like, what the fuck is this? So I'm like, all right, bet. Yeah, same thing with French Montana. Like, French Montana, like, ain't nobody knew who French Montana was in the South.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
it took a while for him to catch fire out here.
Bro, and you light skinned.
Yeah.
Light skin's always a W, bro.
Yeah.
Light skin's always a W.
So I definitely got to touch base on a couple of things you said. So, like, Big Pun. A lot of people don't know this about me, but I was a Big Pun fan.
Really?
As a kid. Like, so.
Smart man.
Growing up, a lot of my influence from music came from, like, my older cousins and my brother. My brother was big on, like, New York rap. Right. So Nas, it was written, you know what I mean? Jay-Z, DMX.
All the GOATs.
He read DMX book like he was
like a Bible.
Yeah, Big L. That's the first time I heard of Big L was through my brother. You know what I mean? Who else?
Brother,
that's how I kind of got onto that Cameron, Diplomats, you know what I mean? That whole running era.
Right.
So Big Pun was, I don't know, I can't really tell you 100% what was it exactly that made me, out of all of them, say, you know what? I like his.
He's from the Bronx.
You know what I mean? And I think it's more so like also how he raps.
Yeah.
It was just the flow, it just changes. Easy. And he was able to, and he had like sound effects. It was a whole bunch of stuff that he would do in his music that intrigued me. And I'll never forget, in middle school, I went to the flea market. You know, you get the airbrush T-shirts.
Right.
And, you know, I'm buying, you know, I grabbed a couple T-shirts, and the one that stood out to me was the Big Pun one.
Yeah.
And I wasn't Puerto Rican, but I had a big Pun shirt with a Puerto Rican flag on it, and I'll wear it to middle school like as if I was half Spanish.
Hey, but listen, Puerto Ricans in the Bronx were that bridge for Hispanics and blacks. So, if you didn't know, like, I don't know if people know this or not. I mean, I'm older, so a lot of people my age know, but if you didn't know, Exhibit got a Puerto Rican flag tattooed on him for Big Pun.
Oh.
And Exhibit's black from the West Coast on top of that.
Yeah.
So, but in New York, like, Puerto Ricans and blacks, that's like, it's like hand in hand in New York, and especially in the Bronx. So, like, that's why a lot of black people could relate to Pun and in that time, you know, in that era. Like, that's why it's a big beef and shit talking with Fat Joe right now, how the younger generation don't understand, like,
who Big Pun was.
Right, exactly.
But
who Fat Joe is.
I think at the same time, Pun died early in his career.
Yes.
Before he could really take off like how he should have. You know what I mean? But as far as skill-wise, out of a lot of rappers from that time, he was top tier. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
That Yeah Baby project, you know what I mean? That's one of my favorites.
Capital Punishment?
Yes.
100%?
It's one of the ones you could play through. Like, it's one of those projects in which I got to give credit to back then. There were more projects, I would say, that you could listen to straight through.
Yes, agreed.
Start to finish.
Because they wasn't chasing hits. They were chasing bodies of work.
Yeah.
It wasn't I want to get a great hit. It was I want to make the best album. Now people want to just get a hit.
Yeah.
They chasing hits. So they're making mad songs, and every song is supposed to be a hit. And no, back then it was an album. Like, same thing like DMX. Like, It's Dark and Hell is Hot. You can listen to that front and back. Flesh and Flesh, Blood of My Blood. Like, Volume 1 and 2, Hard Knock Life of Jay-Z.
And it came out the same year, I believe.
All that shit was the same year.
Platinum.
All that shit was the same year.
Yeah.
All that.
Yeah.
All that shit was. That's why music at that time, I got to tell people, music at that time, unfuckwittable.
Yeah,
like,
it's undefeated. And I think what went into music back then, as far as like the collective back then, was different too.
Facts.
There was more so of, I got to dominate on this song.
Right.
So they pushed each other a lot more competitively, in a sense. Not to say that...
It was a friendly competition.
Yeah, not to say that music isn't like that now, but for sure back then, you seen, like, they fought over who had the last verse.
Hell
because back then, whoever had the last verse
Bomb
was
dropper.
considered the best.
Bomb
you
dropper.
know what I mean?
Bomb dropper.
And some of the biggest songs you could think of, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And when you hear those records and oh my God, DMX, how he came on there and killed it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Method Man, Redman is on there, and it's just
You're blessed, bro. How old are you?
I'm 32.
Oh, so you're not far from me.
Yeah, I'm in the bridge. I'm
you're
in between.
on that gray area.
Yeah, I'm in between.
You can relate, but you could also teach.
Yeah. So
they're gonna listen to you. They're gonna listen to you. They're not gonna call you old head, not yet.
Nah, they still say, "Oh, big bro."
They're not call you old head. I'm old head already.
So, but that from that era, I would say, and one of the things I would say is like back then, it wasn't that many female rappers. So that's the dynamic that switched from this era to that era, right? Back then it was like one or two, at least towards the top. Of course, saying there were others, Roxanne, Shantae, you know what I mean?
Mainstream.
But mainstream, it was really just two. You had your Lil' Kim, your Foxy Browns, you know what I mean?
Queen
Latifah, you know what I mean? Lady Rage, I think, from Out of the West, Eve. And it was interchangeable. Like, all right, Eve is in, and now, Foxy's out, and you know what I mean? And now you got Kim coming in, and then, all right, now Kim, she did her bit. Okay, now you got Nicki. So it kept switching, you know what I mean?
Right.
So I wanted to ask you this because I wanted your take on it. What is your perception on how did that flip happen? Like, how did it get to the point where now you would say music have became more female dominant?
Marketing?
In
my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Marketing. I mean, slowly they started taking out lyricism,
Mm-hmm.
and craft and art. So now comes marketing.
Mm-hmm.
How do we market? How do we keep this alive? Eye candy, I'm from the Bronx, but I don't enjoy Ice Spice music. She got a fat ass.
Yeah, so it's good to watch. Yeah,
it's good to
nice
watch. And it's gonna go viral. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? But it's like, I mean, look at Scarlett. I don't know if you know who she is.
Yeah, I know.
She's a dope ass rapper.
Yeah.
But some people are just gonna gravitate towards Meg more before
They go gravitate towards Scarlett. Well, which is weird, and I'm glad you brought her up because like I think of like that situation she had. I think she was shaking her ass in a video.
Right.
And like the fans took a negative.
Yeah, because she came out as a fucking lyricist.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. So do you believe that in a sense of, whatever you come out as, you kind of have to stay in that lane? You can't. Because we've seen people diverse. You know what I mean? Start off this way and then open up doing different avenues. You know what I mean? Even Drake. Like Drake was sang rap. We didn't know he was gonna do some pop music,
Right.
Some reggae.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But I mean, his was different because he also came in as a sing rap.
Yeah, that's true.
So when you're a singer like Tory, you
Mhm.
get that pass. You get that pass to be way more versatile. Versus if you come in as a gangster rapper,
Yeah.
like 21 Savage. 21 Savage did some Drake shit right now. You'd be like, what the fuck?
Technically, he did a Drake album.
He did a Drake album, but he was
Yeah.
still 21 Savage. But if he did
That's true.
some,
If you start singing on
yeah,
it.
you'd be like, what the fuck is this? Like 21, what you doing? You know what I'm saying? Like. So I mean, I get, but yeah. Long story short, marketing, bro. It's just marketing, in my opinion. I may be wrong.
So would you say? Because the only reason I wouldn't say marketing because like, what is the biggest difference marketing from back then and now when it comes to female rappers? You get what I'm saying? Like, when you got the Little Kim era, I would say that was the gateway and where it started to open up because now it was kind of like more so of a lane where they're like, this is the hot lane right now. So they start funneling more artists through that lane. You get what I'm saying? Like, so, not to say Nicki is
Right.
Lil' Kim,
Right.
but of that canal came, Nicki and then
Yeah.
hers birthed even more, into the game. You get what I'm saying? I think it probably is marketing, but I would say social media kind of like.
Which is marketing.
Yeah. Because
Social
now
media is
it's
big
branding
marketing.
in
Right.
a sense of, hey, I like you as a person. And I think that's where music has shifted now.
Evolution. Because
Yeah.
also you got to remember, Lil' Kim did Spread Eagle on her cover,
Yeah.
right? But there wasn't too much music videos back then.
Mhm.
And we have evolved as humans where things are getting desensitized back to social media.
Yeah.
So if you seen somebody get beheaded back then, you'd be like, what the fuck?
Mm.
Now our kids can see anything on social media
It's
and it's
regular.
normal, it's regular. So it starts becoming desensitized. So now what do we need to do to get attention? So females back then showing off half their ass was like,
what the hell?
You know, Uncle Luke. Let me think about what Uncle Luke went through. All the ass shaking shit he went through. You know what I'm saying? But that's back then. If Uncle Luke went through that back then, imagine if half these females were doing what they're doing back then.
Imagine if Uncle Luke had social media back then.
That's what I'm saying. Well, imagine if Ice Spice came out as a rapper back then.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Like her top thing is like, I'm sorry, like, and I'm not disrespecting anybody, but everybody waits for her to bend over
and do the little
thing.
Yeah.
So I'm saying, and that's attention. So it's like, and like you said, social media. Social media is a marketing tool, though.
You're right. You're 100% right about that. Yeah.
Because social media is not used as a social media platform anymore. It's used as marketing.
Yeah. Before it was just like, hey, this is what I'm doing today.
Right.
This is what I got going on.
Like a diary.
Yeah. Now it's more like production. Like, hey, this is what's going on.
Buy this.
I'm gonna
look at
tease this.
Yeah.
You know, I'm gonna show. Hey, hit this link. Follow me here, and then and redirecting traffic different kind of ways. So I agree with you. Yeah.
In my opinion, like I'm not here to act like I know everything.
No.
That's just my opinion.
Word to the wise. You know what I mean? You definitely broke it down, and now that I'm thinking about it, social media is used for marketing, so it does fall in marketing.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's just I think now in which you get the evolving of even like YouTubers now where they're doing live streams more.
Yeah.
And it's more about, hey, I want to watch you all day.
That's crazy.
Right? I want to see you wake up.
Motherfuckers be sleeping on camera and people be watching it.
Shower.
What the fuck?
Yeah, go play ball, work out, and then come home and then listen to music
eat.
And shit. And, you know what I'm saying? I want to just watch you. Like that has become the new currency now.
It's crazy.
Is attention.
It's crazy.
So do you think you could see where an era where that becomes the new norm for rappers? Where they have to stream?
It's happening. Don't you see what everybody's trying to get on Kai Cenat's channel?
But I think they do it for the waves. Hey,
they need it.
And it works because you look at LiAngelo Ball, right?
Right.
You know what I mean? Talented basketball player, rapping. He got his lane.
You like that song?
I'm not a fan of it.
Okay, me neither.
But I say it works in a certain time frame. It did. You know what I mean? If it dropped like, let's say 2013, 2014, you know what I'm saying? But I think
you still had Jeezy and all them. Would it? You think he would have surpassed the Jeezy? Applies?
Nah, he wouldn't surpass them. But social media wasn't as powerful back then. So like I think
the reason why I think
social media it definitely helped him because he already had like 1 million followers before that song even took off.
Yeah,
you get what I'm saying? He already had a TV.
I'm not
show.
hating, just to let y'all know.
You know what I mean?
I'm a hard critic.
I'll tell you firsthand. I'm a Ball family supporter. You know what I mean? I love what they doing over there from every aspect, from the entrepreneurship to the NBA to the music. I support
That's
it.
What I fuck with the most. The entrepreneurship.
The entrepreneur part. I watch the father create a league and then the NBA mimicked the same thing.
Shout out to him because it's a shitty situation he's going through right now. With you got to get it amputated, but shout out to him, bro, because a lot of people, he's kind of like that Kanye level where a lot of people didn't understand why he was crashing out, and I don't even call it crashing out, but being the way he was when all that shit came out, like putting his shoes up for a big price, and they was talking shit, but it's like, bro, like build your own fucking value. Mm-hmm. You go to Mercedes. And you sign a contract, you don't even ask them to give you a discount. They come to your podcast, they want to shake you down for $100.
Come on, this should just be
That's
half
some fuck
the
shit.
price.
That's some fuck shit. Yeah,
I gotta work hard to get this going. Like, this
they'll come in here with a whole $3,000 outfit to your podcast. I want to tell you they want to get $50 off this. What the fuck are you talking about? Like,
and I don't know if it's because, let's say,
maybe, A, your shit is fake, or B, you think I'm a dummy.
It could be that, and I think it's also like because you're approachable. I can actually get close to you. You get what I'm saying? In the sense of the owner of this, compared to like Balenciaga, they'll never see the owner.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Well, what don't they plug? When they go buy weed?
Yeah, they do.
They don't shake down their plug.
Yeah. I mean,
the plug say this what 3.5 costs. They're gonna pay for that 3.5.
Yeah.
Right or wrong?
Supply and demand.
They not.
Supply and demand.
All right, so it's too many podcasters. That's what you're saying?
It could be, and I think when it comes to podcasting, it's becoming like music in a sense because it's so accessible. It's easy. It's getting easier to start, right?
It's watered down.
If you want to start your own podcast, hit up the AB Club Studio.
ASAP.
Yeah. So it's so accessible, but it's just like music. When it comes to being an artist, you get a lot of people that jump in and you get a lot of people that jump out.
Are you happy with it?
With podcasting?
Like, are you happy with the whole general podcast?
Like the wave?
Yeah.
I love the wave because it gives you ideas. I mean, like even with music,
Right.
Not all music are good, but
Right.
you get inspiration,
Right,
and
right,
you
right.
never know what you get inspired by.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Not all podcasts are good, but you get inspired. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Hell
I've
yeah.
seen stuff on a podcast where I'm like, I wouldn't really watch the show, but I like how they do the lights.
Yeah.
I like how they edit
I like
the show.
that. I like that.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Or I
that.
like that question they just asked. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's good and bad in anything. I'm one of those people, like, if there was an artist and I didn't necessarily love their music, I still would get a mixtape a try because it might be one song on there that I'm like, you know what? I actually like this song.
What's your top 3 podcast? Damn, I'm turning into a podcast
Top
right
3?
now.
No,
God
hey,
damn
man,
it.
we here to do. This is what we here to do.
I'm taking your show. What's your top 3? What's your top 3?
All right, so my top 3, it revolves around me and who I am on a day-to-day basis, right?
Okay.
So 1, and it's no order. I'm just saying based
no
off
order.
of like what's coming to my mind.
Right.
So the Joe Rogan podcast.
Okay.
Joe Rogan because I'm into that
Shout out to
rabbit
Joe.
hole. You know what I'm saying?
shout out
I'm
to
into
Joe.
the rabbit
Hell
hole
yeah.
of, aliens, politics, what's going on in the Amazon rainforest, the ocean. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What's
You're a real
going on in the
podcaster
world.
if you like that. Yeah.
Yeah, so I love that, right?
Uh-huh.
After the Joe Rogan podcast, who would I give the next one to? It's a I love Vlad.
Shout out to
I love Vlad.
Okay.
Say what you want about the person because everybody got their own opinions.
No, we're talking
about him.
podcasting. We're not talking about
But
outside.
The
As a
podcast
podcaster,
itself, how he breaks down, you know what I mean, as far as going into the history of things and really giving you details about an artist or whoever he's interviewing. And he covers a lot of different bases.
Right.
It's not just rappers. He's going to give you a mob boss.
Right.
You know,
right.
he might interview, I think his name
Snitch.
is AB from Paid in Full.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know what
Or
I'm saying?
Snitch. Literally,
Yeah, or
a famous snitch. Like,
yeah, and or
Sammy the Bull, he interviewed him.
yeah, or a CIA agent or
Right,
a war
right.
vet. You know what I mean? He'll give you different ones.
That's 2.
And then the third one, I'm gonna pick this one. And keep in mind, I watch a lot of different.
No,
ones.
I know. That's why it's hard for you.
It's hard for me.
It's like asking what's your favorite 3 rappers. Like it's hard.
Yes.
Yeah, I know. I'm a podcaster,
Yeah.
so when I ask this question, I know it's hard.
So I'm gonna say this one is a more of a newer one, and it's a tough one. And I want to put both of them to share the
Honorable
third
mention.
spot.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm gonna say Art of Dialogue.
Okay,
So and then the honorable mention, Math Off of my expert opinion.
I fuck with it.
So Math Offer, he also dives into
Shout
like
out to
different
Math
ones.
Offer, bro.
That was the first shout out to him, and I watched him battle rapping too.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
that was
yeah.
another reason
Shout
why
to
I
Math. Shout
dive
to
into
Math.
him. And as far as his podcast, and he interviewed I think it's Robert F. Kennedy Jr.
Yeah.
He
Yeah,
interviewed
yeah,
him.
yeah,
So that was
yeah,
the
yeah.
first time I got to see him and him tell his story of how it was growing up watching his peoples and
Right.
you know. And so
Right.
that was interesting. And
Dope
then
as fuck.
he gives you the older era also, so he'll do like a Tretch from Naughty by Nature,
Right.
and he's talking about what it was like during the East Coast West Coast beef. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
he just did Dragon. Dragon is one of like
Oh,
the dudes that
Dragon,
I love
Dragon.
listening to his music.
That's
back
mini
then.
DMX.
Yeah, that's mini DMX.
That's
but
mini
you
DMX.
just
They
passed
don't
it.
even know.
Rapping,
Yeah, they
you
don't
know
know.
what I'm
That's
saying?
DMX 2.0.
So I would say like Dragon kind of give me like if you put a drop of DMX and a drop of Big Pun as far as like that fast rapping.
My
and then
niggas
you
is the
get-
niggas that'll ride for me.
Yeah.
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 They don't know.
You can get it on.
Yeah, they don't know.
So yeah, those and that's my honorable mention.
Honorable mention.
Good, but there's
That's a dope list. I fuck with it.
It's a wide variety of different shows, but those for sure it's like
Your top goal.
yeah.
I fuck with it.
What's your 3?
Damn, that's rough because like I told you, I'm a podcaster. All right, so for sure, I always got to give them the respect and the flowers. Although I started more or less the same time, Drink Champs. Shout out to Drink Champs.
That's another one I would want to put in
Shout
there
out to Drink
too. Yeah.
Champs. Shout out to
him.
EFN.
Yeah.
I've interviewed EFN multiple times.
Shout out to him. Shout out Nori.
shout out
Nori
to
was one of
Nori.
the ones I also listened to when I was growing up.
Yeah, Nori.
Yeah.
Yeah. But shout out to like Drink Champs. Fuck, bro, like that's hard. But second one would be I'm gonna go left field. Theo Von. Shout out to Theo Von.
Okay.
I fuck with Theo Von heavy.
Mm.
My third would be. All right, so I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, and then I'll give you some honorable mentions. But
Okay,
my
yeah,
third
do
would be Nardwar.
Nardwar. Okay.
Nardwar,
Yeah.
like that's one of my yeah, because he does his homework. He digs deep. You know what I'm saying? That's one of my like things on my show where like I had Tafia ask me, bro, you work with the feds, bro? If I know you work with the feds, like for sure.
Yeah.
And Busta Free just told me that recently too. I just did an interview with him.
Shout out to Busta.
Shout out to Busta. He was like, bro, what the fuck? Like, I brought up his concealed weapons license with a gun. He's like, and he told me I don't have a concealed weapons license. What are you talking about? So when I posted it and I showed it to him, he was like,
What the hell?
He was lost. He was like completely confused, and that's I take that from Nardwar. So shout out to Nardwar. Shout out to Nardwar. Honorable mentions. I want to say cheese. I want to say it is what it is, although it's fairly new. That's just comical.
I grew up Cameron.
Yeah, Cameron Mace. Like, you gotta give it to them.
That's another one. And shout out to them for taking the sport route too. Like,
it's lit. Vlad too. Yeah, shout out to Vlad. Vlad does his thing.
It's a lot of them.
It's a lot of them. But like my top 3 that I could say that I'm mixed with, like is the mashup of me would be Drink Champs, Theo Von, Nardwar.
If I had to give a top 3, like a clash, I would say the Art of Dialogue. I would say Off the Record.
Off the Record, okay.
Yeah, I would say Off the Record a little bit. And maybe $1 Million Worth of Game, but I just like the humor in $1 Million Worth of Game.
Right.
So that's why I would say.
And entrepreneurship is
the entrepreneurship. So I'm not just, interviewing artists. You know what I mean?
Correct.
I'll interview another podcaster. You know what I'm saying? So it's all lanes that people can learn from. And that's more so what the show is about. That's what
makes you a good podcaster.
Yeah, something you can learn from. It's not just, hey, I'm just watching this just to watch it. No, you're going to get some information on this.
Facts. You can get some knowledge. Yeah. I mean, when I first started, I was interviewing everybody. Like, I interviewed pastors, coaches, business owners. I mean, I've been doing it for a while, but I can relate to that kind of shit.
So let's get into that.
Okay.
How did you get into podcasting? Where does podcasting start for you?
8.5 years ago.
Okay.
Like I told you, my little brother was a rapper, but my little brother also is. He's gonna get mad at this, but he's the most. He pisses me off the most. He's a waste of talent.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's great. He's a great rapper, but he's one of those people. I love you, bro, but he's one of those people. He wants a get rich fast thing. So he's the type of person that I'm gonna try this. If I'm not making this money in this amount of time, I'm gonna give it up. And the one thing he gave up is the one thing he was best at, besides fatherhood. Me and my brother are like the top fathers in the world. Like we treat our children, and I'm speaking
shout out to y'all.
with our chest out.
Shout out to y'all.
But we like the best fathers in the world. But he did great at that. But the second thing he was great at was a rapper, and he gave it up. But anyway, because I'm gonna go long on this story, and I want to try to shorten it for you. Is French Montana. If people didn't know, French Montana started off as Coke Boys DVD.
Oh yeah,
and he would go
kinda
around
like Smack DVD a little bit
right,
too,
like Smack. So he would go around interviewing people. What he started doing was he started putting his music on the cut scenes and the backgrounds, and people started asking like, "Who's that?" And he said, "That's my music." So French kind of like built his shit up. So we from Homestead. I tell people born in the Bronx, made in Dade. So I came to Miami 2004 2003.
Okay.
So we came with the New York attitude, which was rough in the beginning but then good in the end because everybody was fucking us. You know, Homestead is about this big. Like,
it's a little bit bigger now, but back then it was even smaller.
Right. So we knew everybody in Homestead. So I'm talking about 8.5 years ago. I was sitting in my house and he was living with me at that time, and we went live on Facebook and Instagram. Like that's when live, like they just put
really
the live
just started.
option.
Yeah.
And it was New Year's Eve, and we went live. And mind you, my brother was making music before this, on and off. And we went live, and we was averaging 30 to 40 people on the live. Now that's a lot back then.
Yeah.
That's a lot now. Like you see motherfuckers go live, and
it'd be like 2 people.
Right.
4
So
people.
we were averaging. I mean, it was all local people, but it was 30, 40 people. And it was New Year's Eve, and we had it going. And I told my brother, like, as soon as we turned it off, I was like, yo, I got an idea. He's like, what? I said, bro, French did his shit and became a rapper on Coke Wave. Let's do fucking a podcasting, because shout out to Drink Champs.
Yeah,
I'm listening to Drink Champs, and I'm like, dude, podcasting's new. Shout out to Joe Budden. I don't like Joe Budden as a rapper. I think he's ass. But I think as a podcaster, Oh, no. Top podcaster.
Yeah.
Top urban podcaster, Joe Budden. Music's ass. I'm sorry, Joe, but as a podcaster, you are. I'm sorry, all right. Yo, I tell people, like, if I met him, I would tell him off the camera, like, bro, I don't like your music.
But he's lyrical.
But as a podcaster, bro, he is the godfather of hip hop podcasting. But back to that, I was like, you know, Joe got it. Drink Champs doing it. Yo, like, this is something that's gonna happen. Like I told you. Once again, I see shit before it happens.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, podcast is going to blow. I'm telling you right now, we don't need shit. Like, we got our phone. We going on live. All we need to do is get a camera, download it, upload it, and then I said, before the show starts, play your music. In the middle of your show, we play your music, and at the end, we play your music, and it'll take off. That worked for a year and a half. We went from my couch to Mixmasters Studio. Shout out to Mixmasters. They called us in there. Shout out to 24hourhiphop.com. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember that.
So they hit us up, and they were like, yo, we like what you're doing. We're going to bring you into Mixmaster. Shout out to Chris, Mr. 24. He was like, we want you to do the podcast. So Big Chuck, yeah. So Big Chuck was part of that. And then he was like, yo, boo, do this. Shout out to Hayes from Mixmasters. They're like, yo, do this. So they put us in a lounge. It was just a lounge with a red couch. We started shooting episodes there. Because mind you, I'm skipping a lot of shit, but I was on my couch in my living room interviewing everybody.
Now you're in the lounge.
I'm in the lounge interviewing people. And then we went from the lounge to a studio, like a music studio. Yeah. And we're shooting in there now. Shout out to Robbie Joe. Robbie Joe comes in the scene. That's my cameraman and executive producer, director, everything in the book. And we start shooting there in the studio. And then my brother tells me, I'm moving to Cali. And I was like, fuck, like, bro, we Cali? Yeah, I'm moving to Cali.
Damn.
And yeah, he's like, I'm moving to Cali. I got some opportunities there. I'm not gonna say on camera, but he was doing things to go over there. Yeah. So like, I bet. So we had a team meeting. We had about 6 people on that team. Shout out to J3QR. Shout out to BTS. Shout out to Chino. Shout out to John Paul. Shout out to Mr. 24. Shout out to Robbie. So we had a team, and everybody was scrambling. They're like, bro, this is a 2-person show. Yeah. Like, imagine if May said I'm leaving tomorrow.
That is wild. Cam got to do it. Well, he got to talk with Flea, so he you know.
But still, it's like no, but it is what it is. So they're like, so Robbie's like, bro. Robbie came in the room. He's like, bro, because I'm always the louder one. I'm the shit talker. So he's like, bro, you gotta like put that shit on your back. Like you got it. So my brother left, and from there, I'm not gonna say it was a blessing that my brother left, because I still want to have my brother. But from there, it went from Strong Arm Studios. Shout out to Flow Rider. Shout out to all those. We went there. From there, it went to the live show that I told you about. From there, it went to signing with my mixtapes and doing a season with them. So this is an 8.5 year out. Like I said, I'm compressing this as much as I can. I went through a divorce and a breakup in this whole time, with an ex. I'm not even gonna say it was my wife or my ex, but with an ex. Yeah. One of my episodes, I found out she was cheating on me 10 minutes before a show. No. And like I had to, compose myself properly
and be able to keep going.
Yeah. So I've been through a lot, bro. I've been through a lot, and I always kept the show on my back. Like I also had like an issue with like drinking for a little bit. I'm drinking now, but like I was drinking out of depression back then. Yeah. So there was times where I was slurring on a podcast with artists. And shout out to 24 Hour Hip Hop, Mr. 24, and shout out to Robbie Joe. They pulled me to the side and they're like, you fucking up. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You fucking up. So, and mind you, I'm still a full-time dad. I'm a manager of a business that has 50 employees under me. I'm managing 4,000 homes. I'm doing a lot of shit in between all that. So podcasting is just my passion. Like, when people say you may know somebody that's very good in the court and go play ball very well. Yeah. And you're like, yo, you could have went but they don't do it. And they just go every day still and go. That's what I am with podcasting, Yeah. So yeah, that's how my podcasting story in like a nutshell. Like, it's not that 3-hour story, because I can give you some stories, bro. Like,
I can imagine. And I want to ask you, because so one of the questions I always ask is like, usually it'd be like, what's one of the toughest times for you as far as like in your journey? Because, when you're doing anything, whether it's music, podcasting, you see the glitz and the glamour, the lights, all this looks amazing. I can do this. And you jump in and you going through the roller coaster and the journey of that. So what in that would you say was like the hardest time for you in that process? Like a dark time for you?
My first divorce. Well, my divorce, because I only went through one divorce, but it was the mother of my kids. Yeah. And it was rough because like I said, I am a good dad. I'm a full-time dad. Like me as a father comes first. I pick my kids up from school and take them to school every single day since kindergarten.
Oh, that's beautiful.
I I had time with them. Like my ex-wife would work nights, so since my kids were born, I would take them to school, pick them up, take them home, cook them dinner, put them to sleep, and so I've always been a single dad before even being a single dad. So when I went through the divorce, it was rough because I had a rough childhood, and my number one dream as a child was to always have a family. I always wanted a family.
Be there full time.
Yeah, I always wanted like a home with children and a wife and have that thing, like, because I didn't get that. I didn't want that. First of all, I never even wanted kids because I never wanted my kids to go through what I went through.
Yeah, sound like me.
yeah, like I never want. It was my two biggest fears growing up was jail and having kids. Those were my two biggest fears. Like I said, no, I'm never gonna have kids. I'm never gonna go to jail. Never went to jail still yet. But the kids. So when I had my kids, I was like, I'm gonna do everything. Now I wasn't perfect. I fucked off. I fucked up. She fucked up. She fucked off. But in my 30s, I was already slowing down. But I guess shit didn't work. God didn't want it to work the way He wanted it to work. So, mind you, I'm going through this divorce the same time the show is blowing the fuck up. I was one of those people that got a divorce and breakup in COVID, but at the same time, my podcast was blowing up on COVID. I interviewed Gunplay the same day America shut down. Like, the same day America said nobody's allowed outside, you're going to jail if you're outside. Yeah. Me and Gunplay were in the studio doing a podcast, getting lit, having fun. Shout out to Gunplay.
Shout out to him.
But that's the same time going through the divorce. So I'm interviewing Gunplay. Yeah. And at the same time I'm going through so much shit and going through the divorce. So the divorce was like the breakup with my kid's mother was the most roughest thing in my whole podcast journey because it wasn't so much her. It was just my family. I'm learning how to deal with breaking my family up. Yeah. And just having to cope with that and still figure out how to keep going. Right. Yeah. And shout out to my kids, man. I love my kids. I love my kids. I love my brother's kids too and my sister's kids. I'm the oldest sibling, so all my nieces and nephews will look at me like pops too. So every time I see them. And then shout out to my nephew too. Right now, I'm sorry to take your time. No, you good. But my shout out. Like we got a group chat, so I told all of them like, yo, somebody got to take over the show when I get old. So everybody was recommending my nephew Chino. Shout out to Chino. And then they send a video today. He's 8 or 9 years old. He was on his school news channel. He was interviewing the teacher. Yeah. He's doing his thing. So shout out to Chino. Shout out to him. That's big. I love classes like that because that's how my first experience with this stuff. I think it was, I want to say elementary school, maybe like 4th, 5th grade, I think. And then we had like a little TV production class. Right. And so that was my first time walking into a studio and you seeing the soundboard, you seeing cameras. It was hype, right? Yeah, I'm like, what the hell? Like, you've never seen nothing like this before. So that was my first taste of actually, working the soundboard and cameras and stuff. And then I went a long period without getting that experience. That was high school? That was elementary. Elementary you was doing that? You went to a very good school. So, all right. I got lucky, right? So, right. I ain't going to say lucky. My mom blessed me and gave me the opportunity and put me into a better school than where I was going. Okay. I was in a school in the hood. I'm going to give you a funny story, though, when you finish. I'm going to give you a funny story about that. So, she moved me out the hood into a nicer neighborhood, and it was a school that had that, what I mean? They even had Salisbury steak for lunch. I wasn't used to that. You know what I'm saying? Like, steak? Right. I'm fucking it up. Yeah, like, I'm going to media class after this. Yeah, so that was my first experience. And then I didn't get a taste of production until, like, high school, like, probably, like, junior or sophomore year. Yeah. And I get TV production. And then that was my first experience with editing. Got you. So they were like, yo, we doing the morning announcements. And y'all gonna edit it. Oh shit! So now my assignments is editing. I'm going out with my team, and they might say, "Look, y'all got like 10 minutes of the They used to have something called GTV. It was something that came on at the end of the day on Friday. Right. This is like before y'all leave. We got like some entertainment for y'all. Right. And they'll give you like a little slot, 10 minutes. Hey, make something like this, and we got to go out there. Me and like 2-3 other people record it. Bring it back to the studio, edit it, put it all together. And you was grinding. Yeah, but back then, you didn't even notice what you were building, what greatness you was building up inside of you. No clue what the hell this was. Right. But I was interested. And when I'm interested in something, I get really good at it. You're locked in. You know what I mean? And so, that was my
my second taste of media, but first taste of editing. And then fast forward 2020, COVID time, my homeboy said, yo, I want to do a podcast. And then, all right, let's do it. And I'm using the information from back then to run the show. You know what I mean?
Shout out to Temperature Check. I remember that.
Shout out to Dre, Dre Marley.
I think y'all closed the Instagram?
No, we still have the Instagram. We still have the Instagram. We still have the Facebook. We still got the YouTube channel. We still got it, but we put it on pause for now.
Yeah, it's okay.
You know, I've been doing A2A podcast, so that's where I've been locked in. But I got some more stuff in the works, things that I got going on.
Hell yeah.
I got some other podcasts that's about to drop. As a matter of fact, I did a collaboration with my girl Sosa where Let's Talk About It podcast. So
hell yeah.
On that, we talking about family. So y'all be on the lookout for that. That's gonna be one hell of an episode.
And like I said, before I get to that story, I really want to stop.
Yeah.
Give some time, and I want to shout out my dog Smiles Official.
Oh, shout out to Smiles.
Shout out to Smiles. So Smiles gave me an opportunity to shoot where he's at right now. Another like inspirational story was I knew Smiles for a while, but just recently I interviewed him again.
Okay.
But there was a time where just recently I wasn't shooting anywhere but my house. And he pulled up and we did the interview and he's like, where are you shooting at? I'm like, what you fucking mean? Like, I'm shooting here.
Yeah.
He's like, why? And I'm like, because I mean, right now I really ain't got no space. He's like, no, pull up to my spot. Come do an interview there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, he's like, no, come do an interview. So, you know, when somebody tells you something, you just listen to it, blah, blah, whatever. But I'm like, all right, cool. Monday, he calls me up. He's like, where you at? I'm like, Homestead. I'm with my mom. My mom came down. He's like, come to the office. Come get a key. And I'm like, he's like, so I pull up. He gives me his key. He's like, go to Home Depot, make a copy. This is you. Like, anytime you want to shoot here. This is your spot now. So shout out to Smiles. Like,
shout out to Smiles, man.
He's a real one. He's a real one.
I had him on the show, too.
Yeah, definitely. That's what I said. I seen a couple. I seen Kale. I seen Smiles. I seen Curb. I seen shout out to Curb.
Shout out to OG Curb.
Yeah. I see a couple people on your shit. Like, I'm following it. I
appreciate that, man.
We got to get Curly J next.
Yeah.
Shout out to Curly J.
Let's do it. Let's make it happen, honestly. I'm looking to collab and get more content out.
And you got to come up to my show, but you're going to drink.
Man, if you watch a Temperature Check, I don't know if we ever had it on the table.
Well, I talk about drink though.
We was drinking.
Okay.
Back then, I would go and I don't know why Walgreens is doing this. Walgreens liquor.
Sell liquor.
But they used to sell the big Patron.
There's a couple that they still sell it.
$40.
In Key West, they got one.
Man, I would go there every time we shoot, bring the bottle, boom. We get the guests, we pouring our drinks, and that's what we did.
Drink responsible, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
21 and older.
Got to. Yeah.
No drinking and driving either.
Most definitely. but that's one of the things I think I mastered. I could drink and party easy.
You know, I was born no liver, right?
You said what?
I was born with no liver. Like, that's why a lot of people ask me, like, it's like, bro, you get, like, my name is Litty Willie. They call me the Litty Show. Yeah. But, like, when I tell people that, they're like, bro, shut the fuck up, shut the fuck up. I'm like, bro, it's not hard to believe. Like, there's some people that were born with no leg. There's people that get dialysis every day. So, I was born with no liver. Well, it's not fully no liver. Like, there's a partial part of my liver that still exists, but I have to go through and do, like, a lot of dialysis and things like that. So, that's why I really drink a lot. Yeah. And they're like, that shit don't make no sense. And all this, like, think about it. Like, imagine you just looking at me right now and I'm bullshitting you. Yeah. I'm lying. I have a liver.
Oh, okay, yeah. See, that was pretty good because I was like, damn, I ain't never had somebody on here with no liver that drink. I was waiting for the part where you was like, yo, this is how I do it. Because I'm like, no liver and you drinking?
With you, bro.
I'm like, yo, this is a miracle.
So that's one of my old school jokes that I do with people never. Yeah. DGFM was like, from Drink Checks, like, bro, get the fuck out.
Yeah,
he was still going
my head up. I was
like,
no liver?
No, I was born liver. I'm talking shit. Go ahead.
See, me, the way how mine's work is, so I have an active bladder. So I could drink, and I'll drink. But once I use the bathroom, it kind of resets me.
You go.
I'm back. Like, I could.
How do you beat your hangovers? This is my better question.
I don't really get hangovers.
No, not yet?
Nah. Like, how can I say? I've blacked out before.
Yeah.
The blacking out came from drinking across the table.
What's that mean?
Dark white.
Oh shit!
Dark white, and going back and forth.
And you know that's another like it was a whole nother subject that I had when to say dark white. You do know there's no such thing as white liquor. There's clear liquor.
Well, clear. Yeah.
No. I'm gonna pick up people for that
Yeah.
too. Like, I said rum chowder. They're like, what the fuck is that? I said, that's the only white liquor I know.
It's actually white. Rum chowder is actually pretty good.
Like that, right?
You can make what they call
Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Yeah.
I'm not with sweet liquors, but
with the Fireball whiskey.
Yeah,
you put that together.
yeah.
I done made that.
You're drinking, and you know your shit.
Yeah.
You know the vibes.
Yeah,
You know
most
the vibes.
definitely. Let me ask you, since you drank, what was your first drink? What was the first drink you ordered?
Fuck, man, my mom's gonna be mad at me.
Yeah.
I've been drinking since I was 12, 13 years old.
Yeah,
that's why sometimes I
Tapping
do
the
say
file
that I have.
cabinet.
Yeah, I do.
Tapping the cabinet,
My
get it?
aunt. Shout out to my aunt. So, my mom. I don't want to put her too much out there, but my mom was a little bit. She had some issues at the time.
Yeah.
So, there was things going on in the house that there was really no parental
advisory.
Yeah.
You got a lot of freedom.
So her sister, I remember my first shot was a thing called Palo Viejo. I think it's rum. And that motherfucker was rough. But I think that shit just launched the alcoholism in me. When I tasted that shit, I was like, oh Lord. Like, this feels good until I got my first hangover. And that's when I was like, oh, you gotta control yourself.
Yeah.
But Palo Viejo was my thing. Now on my live show, I told you we had a bartender and we sold drinks, but I had my own drink. It was called the Litty, Willie. And it's basically just Ciroc and Red Bull.
Okay.
Yeah, that's not something you're supposed to be drinking. They call it the South Beach cocktail because it's like cocaine. They say it's like drinking that's worse than taking cocaine.
Yeah,
they say. I don't know, but I drink it not only on my show. So if I'm drinking at home, it's sugar free, seltzered or something. But I'm outside.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, I'm outside. We're drinking that. So yeah, that's what I'm drinking.
Yeah, my first one, of course, it was because everybody you hear Henny and Coke.
Hen dog.
Yeah, Henny and Coke. I ain't
that's
know no
my mom's
better.
favorite drink.
You know what I mean? You
Henny.
said that's what?
My mom's favorite drink.
Oh, okay.
My mom drinks Hennessy like a pirate.
So I'm not even a fan of Hennessy no more, right?
I don't like it.
Me, that's
what
not
about
my
white
thing.
Hennessy?
I like, oddly enough, black.
Hennessy black,
yeah, with like some vanilla Coke or something like that.
Yeah,
that's
smooth.
really good,
Yeah,
really smooth. I had that with my dad. That was the first drink I ever had with my dad.
What is your normal go-to though? Like anytime, like if you don't know, what's your normal go-to?
Patron.
Yeah. With what or just straight?
Pineapple juice.
Pineapple?
Yeah, Patron and pineapple. It's a good day. You know what I mean? I'm chilling, vibing, I'm drinking.
Fun fact: different alcohols are no different from any other alcohol. People think that they get drunk on different things and they act different way, but it's scientifically proven that it doesn't. It's just a mental thing.
Really?
But mentally, I do get fucked up on tequila and I get aggressive on tequila. That's why I don't drink it. But it's a mental thing. There's no such thing as you have different moods with different alcohols. It's not true. It's scientifically proven.
Yeah. I ain't know that.
Google it. GTS. Google that shit.
Yeah.
GTS.
A new one that I've been messing with, but I haven't. It's hard to find. The Valone.
Valone, yeah.
It is hard to find.
About,
Not all liquor stores have it, so I have to Google and see what liquor stores got it. And I sometimes find myself driving all the way to Coral Springs just to get a bottle.
Get that.
Yeah.
I like Patron. I forgot the name of it, but it's an upper Patron. It's like
with that orange one.
It's a white one. I'll search it while you speak, but
yeah,
it's a Patron that my aunt got me from Mexico actually. But I don't drink tequila. I'm not a tequila drinker. But if I drink it, types like
yeah. I just stopped doing Long Island's.
Like
bro. When I go out to eat, that was my go-to. And let me get a Long Island.
Roca Patron. ROCA.
Roca Patron.
Yeah, look, I'm gonna show you the picture, but it's called Roca. I don't speak Spanish. Just to let you know. Fun fact about me again. I'm a Hispanic.
Really?
I don't speak Spanish. No.
Oh, okay. All right.
This one.
Okay. I never had that one.
That's good shit right there.
I gotta try that.
It's good shit.
Okay.
But I don't drink. Tequila. No.
Okay.
And Long Island's no. You're asking for it.
Yeah, but it was just
that's a headache in the cup.
I'm gonna tell you where it started. So
it's cheap, right?
First time is cheap one, and then the first time I actually went to a restaurant and bought a drink, I really bought a drink based off of what my homeboy got. So my homeboy was drinking Long Island's. And
I bet he's the one that takes one for the team, right? Woody.
Back then, maybe.
Yeah.
Back then, maybe.
Because if he drinks Long Island, he's down for whatever.
but I'm gonna tell you my method for Long Island.
He eats ass.
He might.
Yeah,
It's possible.
Yeah.
So
you eat ass?
Hey, like, this ain't that kind of show.
I'll just say, yeah.
But for my lady, yes.
Yeah, okay.
For my partner, yeah. But it ain't nothing.
Smart man.
That's like,
smart man. Because if not, she gonna find somebody to do.
Yeah. As you get older, you realize there's certain things that I'm just not into nothing for mine.
No, our crew used to be DTAL, Don't Trust Any Hoes. But we was a subsidiary of AEA, Ass Eating Anonymous. Like, we would eat ass, but nobody didn't know. That's why we had like mad bitches. Like, we would eat ass.
Yeah, they don't know what's going on.
But they were fucking with us. All the bitches were fucking with us because we was eating ass.
Yeah. Hey, we had a conversation about that on Temperature Check.
Yeah.
This shit up.
It's crazy. Yeah. I would ask people that when they get on my show and they would turn white.
Oh yeah,
Your color.
Yeah,
it's on white.
Yeah. It get weird because it's like, am I ready to say that? You know
Trick said it.
But it depends on now. If you're a person that just eat ass, like whoever you dealing with,
selective ass.
Yeah,
that's
you
what we call
selective.
it. You gotta eat selective ass. You can't eat raw ass. No,
that's crazy.
And you can't do Lamborghini doors neither.
Yeah,
you can't get your ass ate.
No.
Lamborghini doors.
That's
what she spread your eagle.
I can't do it.
That's a problem.
I can't do it. It's too much wind. The AC blowing. It's cold.
Out of control.
I can't do it.
Well, see the show went left real quick. Shout out to A2A. My bad, bro. Litty Willie comes through and talks that shit, bro. I'm sorry.
It's cool. It's cool. So before we close out, right? I want to ask you, what is your favorite interview so far that you've done, and then what is your Hall of Fame interview? If you could interview anybody dead or alive, who would it be?
That's rough, bro. That's a rough one.
I literally just made that question on the spot.
That's a rough one. That's a rough one because I got a lot of favorites. So I'm gonna give you my multiple favorites and I'm gonna make it short because I know you're trying to close, but at the same time I'm gonna give you the reason. So shout out to Gunplay. Gunplay was one of my favorite interviews by far because it was just whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
So Gunplay is one of the most genuinest, just solid people. And it was just a good time where there was no hold bars. There was no nothing was staged, and we had a good time. I interviewed him twice. Shout out to DJ EFN. Shooting DJ EFN was like an honor for me because, like I told you, Drink Champs. Like Drink Champs is one of my stables. Like Drink Champs. So you interviewing DJ EFN, I was starstruck. And then my last one that I can tell you is like. My top was Jim Jones, so I was a Dipset head. Like I'm Wu-Tang, but it like if it ain't Wu-Tang, it's Dipset. Like those are the two.
Wu-Tang. That was one of the ones. 36 Chambers.
Yeah, bro. There's no other. I don't care. I'm ready to debate. There's no other bigger hip hop crews bigger than Dipset and Wu-Tang.
Oh yeah, facts. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So interviewing Jim Jones was like I'm fucking like damn. And then if y'all didn't know. I interviewed Jim Jones in Harlem, in the middle of Harlem, like in the middle of Harlem. So that's like, that's like interviewing Barack Obama in Chicago.
Yeah,
because Barack Obama's from Chicago. So I'm in the middle of Harlem interviewing Jim Jones, Dipset. Like so, that was like another one. Shout out to my mixtapes that made it happen.
Shout out to him. So
those three were like my top big wows. Like and shout out to my mixtapes again. We're sitting down with Al Sharpton. I shot down with Al Sharpton. That interview didn't get out, but just interviewing, sitting and speaking to Al Sharpton about Tupac and Mike Tyson. That was crazy. So my top three though, EFN, Gunplay, and Jim Jones. Those are my top three. And the second question, I'm sorry, what? Which is Dead or Alive?
Hall of Fame interview that you would love to do, dead or alive, who would it be?
So I asked a similar question to people, but I always tell them, if you can do a feature with somebody, one dead, one alive, who would it be? So I'm going to give you one dead, one alive.
Okay.
So one dead would be, I would love to interview Big Pun.
I like that.
No matter what, Big Pun is always going to be dear to my heart. Like, he taught me how to be a fly, fat nigga.
Yeah.
He taught me how to have a confidence and be fat at the same time. He taught me how to be proud of being a Puerto Rican, but at the same time, being proud to be an American. So shout out to Big Pun. That would be my one dead. And my one alive would be, ultimately, I have a lot that I would say, but ultimately, for the culture, I would say Jay-Z. I would love to sit down with Jay-Z.
I like that.
And interview Jay-Z. French would be my non Jay-Z level.
Yeah.
I would love to interview French. That would be my non-Jay-Z level. But if I had like, yo, you got one opportunity alive.
Yeah.
You gotta pick it. Yo, French, I'm gonna get you because I know once I interview Jay-Z, you're gonna fuck with me after that. So, yo,
we're gonna line that up right
French,
after
I got you right after that.
Yeah.
But Jay-Z's gonna be like my, I'm gonna shoot Jay-Z because Jay-Z's just, fuck what anybody has to say. But Jay-Z is the most relevant hip hop artist ever right now. Ever.
That's facts. Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah.
Till he passes or till he falls off, which I don't see happening no time soon. Jay-Z is the most relevant hip hop artist ever.
Okay. If I had to give favorite interview,
One dead, one alive. Give it to me.
One dead or alive?
One dead and one dead, one alive. You get two.
So I'm gonna go dead first, and it's tough because if he was still alive, which he died not too long ago, it would be him alive and then this person dead. But I have to go with this person, Tupac.
Okay.
If I can interview Tupac, just because I know the amount of stories he would have from his experiences,
right?
From growing, starting off in New York and then moving to LA. And what was that like for you?
Right.
Living in LA.
Being a movie star.
You know what I mean? Being a movie star.
I think Tupac would have been the biggest hip hop movie star right now.
Yeah.
Ever.
And the second and honorable mention that I would be, and I feel like they're in the same 1A, 1B,
right,
is DMX.
Oof.
Because I feel like DMX kind of followed that blueprint because he was also a phenomenal actor too. Cradle to the Grave, that movie right there.
Right.
From Romeo Must Die. You know what I mean? He did a lot of good movies that I really love.
I like DMX as a better rapper from Tupac, but I like Tupac as a better movie star. Tupac was crazy as a movie star, bro. You don't understand, bro.
He was. Above the Rim is one of my favorite movies.
He was a better actor than DMX, bro.
Oh, he is. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, I get that. Yeah, I thought you were saying like Tupac is a better actor than a rapper. I was like,
no. I'm saying like, all right, so I got to compare like who's the better actor, who's the better rapper. In my opinion, I'm sorry, like Tupac was always second to me, so DMX would be a better rapper. In my opinion, don't come from my head, but Tupac would have been the best urban, not hip hop, just urban actor today. Yeah, he'd have been on Denzel level. Yes. Yeah, he would have definitely been. Because Above the Rim, when you watch Above the Rim, when you watch Juice, oh, forget it, Juice, bro. Like Poetic Justice and Above the Rim. I don't give a fuck about myself. The different levels and the different ranges he touched. He was a better actor than DMX, and it's in an early stage of his acting, right? And he started off in arts. Acting in art, and that's how he met Marlon Wayans and Omar Epps, and they became cool. Above the Rim, both of them. Shout out to Pac, man. You know what I mean? Shout out to Pac, man. And he's opened a way for a lot of artists. I think he was the first one to really show like you don't just have to rap. Really, like you can really do some other stuff too. You know what I mean? You could be political and not feel afraid to be political, even though you're a rapper. Do you think he was tainted by the industry? Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people are the best part is when they're pure in the beginning, but as you keep going, you get stained from the different aspects of the entertainment industry. Do you think Tupac was like a gangster or he wanted to be a gangster? Or excuse me, not wanted to be. He was swayed to be a gangster. I think he was swayed to be a gangster. Okay. But he was a fighter at heart. Activist. He was an activist. But he was swayed. I think they used his activist mentality and swayed him into be a gangster just to sell more. It's kind of like, how can I say, when you make that song and that it takes off and you're like, oh, that's what they want from me. Yeah. You know what I mean? So when he started to put on that thug mentality, I hated that. I hated it. I hate Tupac the Thug. You know what I mean? I love Tupac the artist. I hate Tupac. I mean, when it hurt my heart. With the underground, he had that right there already. He could have been an activist, but that was like, yo, he's really talented. He could have been a Kendrick. He could have been a Cole. Like he could have had that. I don't have to be a like Kendrick. Kendrick's not a gangster. He's not a gangster, but he does use the essence of. But he never. Like he is like, hey, he speaks from, and I'm not saying he per se was this person, but the person that's on the block. He's speaking the story, of the block, right. He's a journalist. Yeah, he's a journalist. He's a journalist of the gangster, but they like should drilled him in. You're a gangster. I feel like this is what I'll say, and I've watched interviews where people said this. He did juice. And they said that wasn't real, but when he did juice, he flipped out. They said he never came back.
moving different and acting different.
That was
and
a
talking
fucking
different.
amazing.
And
That
it was
amazing, bro.
Him playing that role and people loving him for that role. He
Fuck you, Rodamez.
Yeah, he basically poured a little bit of that shit, bro.
Into him
Juice
as an
was
artist.
one of
the movies,
and
bro.
it was just, and it's crazy because we had a debate on Temperature Check, and it was about Tupac and Biggie and like who was better. And I'm
Biggie was the better rapper. Tupac was the better artist.
And I'm like, all right, let me talk about it. The span of time, Pac wasn't around that long,
right?
As an artist,
Jay-Z, Nas. So they're alive.
So
who's the better rapper? Who's the better artist?
I like Nas
as what?
More
better rapper?
Yes.
And Jay-Z's the better artist.
Better artist, yeah. If I had to break it down,
Kendrick and Drake. Who's the better rapper? Who's the better artist?
Kendrick, better artist. I would say Drake, but I would say Drake because he has more range.
So that's what I'm saying. Biggie and Jay-Z.
Yeah.
Who's the better rapper? Who's the better artist?
Between Biggie and Jay?
Yeah.
Biggie the better rapper, Jay the better artist. Yeah, I would say
Pac.
That. Pac and
Pac and Biggie. I'm saying
Pac and Biggie. I was. You gotta understand, man.
I mean, listen. I appreciate Pac's music, but Pac was, bro. The artistic thing that Pac had was Pac could be every. Do you ever see Biggie and Juice?
No.
Above the rim, do you see Biggie? No. That's what I'm saying. Like, but Pac could go back and compete with Biggie in music.
Yeah, he can. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like Pac was the better artist.
Yeah, he was.
No doubt about it.
Yeah.
Biggie was just a great fucking rapper. Unfuckwittable.
He was. It's just when people debate the two, I will say look at the hits from Pac in the span of time that he had.
Agreed.
So not only was he talented, but he had the work ethic to crank out that much music in that short span of time.
And they were young. People forget how young they were, bro.
25.
People forget how like we still debate about these people
to this day.
And we speak about them like if they were like old OG legends. These people were in their 20s, bro. Yeah. These guys didn't even hit their 30s yet.
That's the sad part.
Like, they didn't hit and we're speaking about them like they've been in the game.
Still, to this day, still doing it. Yeah.
Like, a lot of people forget how young these people were.
And with the impact that they had at that age.
Bro, 20, and low 20s, not high 20s.
Yeah, 20. They didn't hit that 26, 27 threshold, yeah.
You feel me? Like, we forget this. That's, like, this is how great these people were.
They lived one hell of a life in a very short time.
Right, and it's horrible. Damn, I stole the show, bro. Sorry.
Nah, you good.
I'm sorry, bro.
This right here is what it's all about, honestly.
Right. Oh, so that was your deads. We need your alive.
The alive.
Damn, I fucking stole it. I hate doing that, though.
Who would I put for alive? So, I'm just gonna go with a fan favorite.
Okay.
For alive. Before I say this person's name, I gotta just comb through to make sure I don't.
You ain't gonna come through shit. It's your show.
Yeah, I'm just thinking like, cause
we'll give you an honorable mention.
You might say this and then it'll be like, oh fuck.
We'll give you an honorable mention. No, you get an honorable mention.
Okay, so alive, I would say Method Man.
Oof. Okay.
Probably Method Man. That'll probably be because Method Man is.
Shout to Davies, Little Method.
Yeah.
Davies is our new Method Man.
Yeah, I would say that too. But.
Before he did the show.
I guess honorable mention then Andre 3000.
Okay. I fuck with that.
Yeah, because those two.
You fuck with the flute music?
Nah.
But he did explain that this is not hip hop. Get ready.
And it's okay because being an artist isn't just one thing.
Right.
It's creativity at the end of the day. So you look at Kanye. Kanye strut his creativity in more than just
Sunday
music.
service.
He do it in Sunday service. He do it in clothes. He do it in shoes. Yeah. He'll make a car if he want. He'll just create something.
Post a fucking
make a
KKK
beat.
outfit.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's his creative mindset and how I'm going to show off this art. And the art looks different.
The last thing I'll ask you then is before you, because you're probably gonna say something that's gonna make me talk again. But
okay, go ahead.
With Kanye, do you believe that there's an agenda behind Kanye, or Kanye really does things to offend cultures? Or there's agenda
in his method in his madness?
Yeah, method in his. There you go.
I would say yeah, because I think he's too much of a critical thinker
to not
just be doing shit just to do it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Or he could be just because a lot of people say he's crazy.
Einstein, they say, was crazy too.
Yeah, I mean, look, I got 3 Kanye tattoos on me, so I'm a Kanye fan. Like,
yeah, I am too. My favorite album is Late Registration.
Late Registration.
Yeah,
okay,
it gotta
so
be that one.
No, I'm not putting you on the spot to make you talk against them, but
No.
I always want to hear people's opinion on Kanye.
Sometimes it could get difficult because when you have a connection with someone, right? You've been through times, you've listened to this music has gotten you through some shit.
Like, bro, why'd you do that?
And you see
I
something.
support you, bro.
And it's kind of like a family member you just jump in front of, like, nah, y'all ain't gonna do this to my cousin. You know what I'm saying? Like, my cousin mean good. You know what I mean? But it's like sometimes you got to understand that people, as they get bigger, enter in rooms that we've never been in.
Billionaires.
They've experienced things that we've never experienced, and it's kind of hard to say that he's the same person he was back then.
Facts.
But we do have that connection with him from back then that makes it where we want to shadow him.
And he's not saying this broke. He's saying this as he keeps getting richer.
He keeps getting richer.
Like, imagine if it's Benzino, where Benzino's on his last limb and saying things you're like, bro, you're crashing out. Like, gotta relax.
Yeah.
But Kanye is a billionaire. He keeps making more and more money.
Making more money because then that's why I say it's not just to do it. Now, can he say something and he not have 100% of the information? Of course. That happens all the time. We all see something on social media and get on the phone and be like, did you know that Trump said he not going to give child support to, you know what I'm saying?
Kanye West is a realistic.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
he's a billionaire that you can speak to. Because remember, I told people like this, and correct me if I'm wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I hate to get biblical, but they said if you've seen Jesus, you wouldn't know how to describe it because it's something you've never seen before. So
that's true.
If you see Jesus right now, you wouldn't know how to tell your friends how Jesus looked because it's undescribable. Mm-hmm. So I believe that it's the same thing with billionaires. If you met a billionaire right now, you wouldn't know how to explain to your friends
what it's like,
what they do and how they do because some of your friends probably never even seen 500,000.
Yeah.
But to be in a room with a billionaire, you can't explain because and most people don't know what it is to be a billionaire, how billionaires work. So when we see that, we're like, I don't know how to. There's no way to pronounce it. So I think like Kanye is just that person where he's in the billionaire club, but we can still see and do what he does, and we're not understanding how and what he's doing. But it's like this motherfucker's crazy. But the billionaires are like, no, he
just do what he want to do. I mean, they do it, but they just don't do it on a public level.
And he is.
Yeah, he's doing it publicly.
But I don't think Kanye's a racist, y'all.
And then at the
Kanye's
same
not racist.
time, I take it in consideration of this, right? We got to stop holding celebrities in the light where it's like they have to be perfect or they have to.
They're human.
You know what I mean? They're human just like you. You might get up there and say some shit, and later on you might be like, you know what? I probably shouldn't have said that.
Elon Musk.
You know what I mean? It happens.
You seen Elon on Joe Rogan? You watch Joe Rogan?
Yeah, I seen Elon.
Yeah. My boy smoking a blunt.
Yeah. Elon, do what the hell you want to do.
Kanye too.
Yeah. Elon said, you know what? Let me change Twitter to X.
You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna smoke this joint and call it X. How about that? like that's me and you. Like if we became billionaires right now, we'll do some shit that some motherfuckers would be like.
Yeah. They be like, what the hell you did that for?
This nigga just hired Litty to be his fucking #1 promoter. Litty be talking shit all day.
Yeah.
They're like, yo, what the fuck? Or who the fuck is this guy? Like, imagine, let's say you became a billionaire tomorrow.
Yeah.
And everybody knows you as the billionaire. Like, they're starting to get to know who you are. And then you hire me as your spokesperson. They're like, who the fuck is he?
Yeah. This is the first day we ain't seen him before.
Right. And then they search me on YouTube and he's a drunk fucking podcaster. We're putting him to fucking speak for him? Like, everybody's lost.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah.
But we're real people just with $1 billion in our pocket.
It's a different world because at the end of the day, the thoughts that you makes big moves. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Nowadays, people are trying to have a hard time figuring out what they're going to eat and what they're going to watch while they eat.
I'm happy that an urban person made a billionaire list and speaking for us.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And honestly, I'm more so excited for the fact that him doing it opens doors for someone else to get up there. And if you feel like he's not doing it right, then do
Change it.
better. You
Take
know
his
what I
list.
mean?
If
You
not,
know?
shut the fuck up.
Yeah. And I would hope that you actually try to do better and not sit there and just be like, hey, I'm gonna do the same shit he just did. You understand? Like, hey.
But you're not gonna do that.
Yeah.
I think it's only one person. Prince can only be Prince.
Yeah, that is true.
Jay-Z can only be Jay-Z. Michael Jackson will only be Mike Jackson. Like,
Michael Jackson was one of them honorable mentions for dead. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah,
It was just DMX died, so it was kind of hard because I relate more to DMX than I would say Michael
you
Jackson.
keep bringing up shit that makes me want to debate. So Michael Jackson or Prince? Who you got?
I relate
Overall.
more to Michael.
Okay.
Like I like more Michael music
fuck
than
with
Prince
Prince.
music.
I fuck
But
with
Prince, he got some
Prince
he got
attitude,
some-
but Prince's attitude was like,
yeah, he was different.
Prince
Apparently, he could ball. He could play
he
basketball.
could do everything. Like, bam,
Yeah.
bam, bam.
And he could fight. I heard.
Yeah, Prince is like Future.
He just
Prince
do what
was
the
the
hell he
back
want.
old school Future.
Exactly. So that's one of the ones like, you know, that's another honorable mention. I would probably like, damn.
Prince and Michael, right?
Yeah.
Imagine interviewing Prince and Michael in the same room. That would be dope.
I feel like they might fight over it a little bit. Like I feel like I don't know.
Nah,
I feel
it'll
like
be
the
chill.
aura
It'll be pimp.
I feel like the aura is so big, but then it's like
Me, you, Kanye, Prince, and Michael.
that's a crazy ass interview. That's a crazy ass.
And
Gotta
Joe
make it
Rogan
happen.
being on behind the scenes.
Yeah, who knows? They might start doing stuff
That'd
like
be
that. That'd
lit.
be crazy
That'd
as
be
shit.
lit.
Like if they
My
start
bad,
doing,
bro. I keep taking
AI
this show, bro.
AI
And I'm
interviews.
extending this show. My bad, bro.
You good.
Like I like this talk.
Nah, honestly, man, we gotta run this back, man. Of
For
course, yeah. Whether it's because I want to start doing group discussions too.
Okay, for sure.
So if you're down to come back for
Always
that,
down.
you know what I mean.
Always down.
I was just thinking like, shit. What if I did like a group of podcasters? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Prince and Michael Jackson.
yeah, you know what I'm saying. And get some ideas out, get some
Oh, yeah.
inspiration.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm
Oh,
saying,
yeah.
and just
Oh,
keep growing, man.
Oh yeah, for
So
sure.
thank you so much for coming on the show, man.
thank
Where
you
can they
for having
find
me.
you at?
So you're gonna go into YouTube and type in Litty Productions, Litty Productions.
Mhm.
On my social media is LITTYWILLIE_ Litty Willie.
Okay.
And then my show page is my show page is post show shit, but just follow my regular page, Litty Willie _ LITTY WILLIE_. And if you go to YouTube, type in Litty Show Productions. Thank you for having me, bro. This is
most
very
definitely,
this
man.
is very rare for me
Yeah.
to be on somebody else's platform, and it's rare to hear how people watch me and tell
Yeah.
me how much like I've influenced them, and I appreciate that because I'm gonna talk my shit for the last minute,
man. Do your shit.
before we close out.
Yeah.
I've really been doing this. Is the camera right here watching
yeah.
me, right? I've really been doing this 8.5 years, almost 9 years, almost a decade. I've really been podcasting. I've done this from my couch, from studios, from live people watching, 150 watching my show. I've been signed. I've been doing all this, like all the podcasters that are just doing this for kicks, for fun, all that other shit. Like, keep going, but don't disrespect. Put some respect on my name.
Let's
and
go.
understand that I am the first podcaster in Dade County and that has been doing this. I don't know about Broward, but listen, in Dade County, I've really been doing this. Whether you want to appreciate me or not, but I've been really doing this. And I'm not shitting on nobody. I want y'all to keep going, but I've been really doing this. I really do my homework. I spend 3 hours searching about where you from, what you do, how you do, and bring that shit to the podcast. Not coming to a show and asking you, what's your favorite color? What's your favorite food? How long you been doing this? No. Like, I bring entertainment to this shit. I bring knowledge to this shit. I bring respect to this shit. I bring culture to this shit. So shout out to the podcast. Shout out to A2A.
Let's go.
Shout out to, just thank you for having me. And I'm sorry I had to talk my shit real quick.
No, you good. I appreciate you for coming on, man. Honestly, this is one of the ones I was looking forward to because I knew the conversation was going to be dope
Hell
like
yeah.
this.
Hell yeah.
Shout out to all the podcasters that are starting up right now or
Keep
the ones
going.
that's already doing your thing. Keep going. I
Keep
know
going.
it's a long, rigorous grind. You working your job. You coming up with content for your next show. And
Consistency is king.
Consistency is king. If you and whatever you could do on yourself, do it, and whatever you gotta outsource it. Do not let it not get done because you're not willing to do it yourself and you're not willing to outsource it.
And where they got to go to shoot their podcast, when they got to go.
Hit up the AV Club Studios. We got great lighting, 4K cameras.
As y'all see. And we
Great
look
location.
good. We look good. You know what's the number one thing that made me come here really fast?
What?
y'all fucking views. Y'all shots are great.
Oh yeah.
It looks great. This is a chandelier. You guys look great here, bro. You guys look great here.
I
Immaculate.
appreciate that, man.
Immaculate.
That
I'm gonna look expensive on this interview.
Also, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell on his platform. So anytime he do drop, it comes directly to your phone. You're gonna get it. Boom, Litty Show Podcast got a new episode featuring.
My name is Litty Willie. You know the fucking vibes, and we out.
Let's go.